everyone. Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Jolene. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Jolene. That's me. Hi, guys, and welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Jolene. I break down all things Big Brother Canada 9. This is a late night live stream because I have been watching feeds all day. So while you guys are probably sleeping and comfortable, I'm watching live feeds and reporting back to you because I want to talk about BBCAN. So if you are joining, make sure you smash that like. Also, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I cover all the Big Brother, BBCAN, BBUS, BB Australia, and lots of other shows and comedy and stuff like that. Follow me on social media at Joleen Lunzer on Twitter, Instagram, and the TikTok. Also, you can support the channel if you want. There's links in the description how to do so, or you can send a super chat. All right, so we are here. We're here. If you have comments, make sure to leave them in the live chat. I would love to talk to you guys. Looks like some of you are up late too, so welcome, welcome, welcome. So I have been plugged in to the Big Brother live feeds all day and all night. It was down for quite a bit tonight because we had the Power of Veto competition. Last night, I went live with Sarah from Nerdtainment, and we did spoilers from the live feeds yesterday. So if you missed that, it's the video right before this one. Make sure you check it out. All right. So basically, here's what's going down in the house. Everybody hates Josh. That's just Josh is on the block. Kiefer's on the block. Austin's HOH. And everybody hates Josh to the point where it's getting ridiculous, to the point where I'm liking Josh more because they hate him so much. Do you know what I mean? And I already kind of like Josh. I don't really see the problem with him as much as these people do. But here's my thing, you guys, and let me know what you think in the chat. But I think this is very new school Big Brother. I don't remember this happening as much in older school, especially I'm talking mostly about Big Brother US, where when you put someone on the block, now it seems new school, you have to villainize them. They have to have this group think, this group mentality where they are like, oh my God, I don't like him. They have to hate on that person. And I don't know if they're able to just put them on the block and get them out without icing them out or just attacking them personally. I don't know if that is the way Big Brother's played anymore. It feels as though it's not. And it's kind of annoying because at this point, like, we all realize it's a game. And at this point in the game, Josh is the target for the house. So if you're all on the same page about that, you don't have to ice him out. You don't have to make him feel alone, because I really think, like, watching the live feeds, it's kind of depressing because love Josh or hate Josh. And we didn't see the first week, and hopefully in this next episode of BBCAN, they will show us the big fight, because like Sarah and I talked about in yesterday's video, apparently Julie and Josh got into it, and it was mostly Julie just dragging Josh, yelling at him, tons of Effenheimers. So the house guests were wondering if they were going to be able to air it with all the Effenheimers, but we've had our fair share of fights in BB history, CAN, and the US, where it's beep, 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 you, beep, beep, beep. You know, there's the beep for that. So hopefully they air it. And ever since that, and what happened that first week that the feeds weren't on, people seem to really be just anti-Josh. Like, he is trying, you guys. He is trying to connect in some way with any of these people. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some of the things Josh has been doing in the house and some funny Joshisms. Mysteriously Kind says, I don't see how the big group doesn't get to the end. And I guess this is just the way Big Brother is. I don't see how. Yeah, exactly. It's Big Brother has changed in so many ways, but this one way where they have to villainize, they have to almost ice out the people in the house that are their targets, I don't really get. I think you can talk to somebody and still be in a big alliance, which there is a big, powerful 6-person alliance in this house. There's a lot of smaller alliances that are breaking out, some with the people in the big 6. But I think you can still treat Josh like a human being. That's just me. I don't know. It just seems a little strange. I think what's going to happen is everyone's going to feel bad for Josh, and then Josh is going to become, people are going to start fanning Josh even if they don't want to fan Josh, because that's kind of what always happens on these types of reality shows. Anytime there is one person that's singled out or you feel as though they're being mistreated, everyone goes to them and starts becoming a fan and supporting them, that's how I got tricked into liking Kelly Dodd from the Real Housewives of Orange County for a couple seasons, because I felt as though, oh, they're all going to go against her, then I'm going to go for her. And I want to take those days back. Okay. Lynn is saying, even if Josh drives them nuts, I don't see why they can't be nice exactly till he's gone. If you got the votes, like they keep saying, we got the votes. These people are already counting. Here's the deal with this cast. Very diverse, great. So far, I do really like everyone, but not a lot of big fans of Big Brother. A lot of them did the classic new school Big Brother thing where they binged a couple seasons. At the max 3 seasons they binge. I think LaToya did. And the only real fan of the show, I would say, is Kiefer. Austin, she's somewhat of a fan, but she knows more about the US. A lot of them don't know about BBCAN. They just don't. So they've just binge watched, and some of them didn't even do that. So we're dealing with people who don't really know about the game. They really don't even know how the live feeds are. It's one of those seasons. We've had a lot of those seasons in the past. Okay, so here's the deal with Josh. Josh is trying, you guys. He's trying. He has been doing a little camera talk, because he spends a lot of time alone because people just leave. And this happened last night on the feeds. He said, "Hello, Canada. It's Josh speaking." But it was more like in his Kurt Cobain, the Canadian Kurt Cobain way, where he's like, "Hey, Canada. It's Josh speaking. I cleared another room. I think they like me." And then he laughed to himself. And I'm like, oh, I like Josh. Like, that to me was very funny, because he'll walk in a room and everyone will find a way to leave. Some people don't even acknowledge him at times. It's pretty stupid. Let's say, and here's reasons why Josh should stay. Okay. He says things like, "I dislike the whole house voting unanimously. It feels very boring." Yes, fans love that. So from a fan perspective, if you're not someone who is feeling Josh, feel that. Because if you don't want a season where it's unanimous votes and vote with the house, you want Josh's in there. Because the whole reason we had a crazy first week is because of the Joshes of the house. LaToya, Josh, Julie, who got voted out. And those make for good feeds. Do you think, I think production, listen, as far as US Big Brother goes, good question, please, 3. As far as production US goes, they always pull strings for the shit players, for the real problematic douchebags we don't want to watch. So I'm always like, if you're going to do that, and if you're going to get involved, and we realize that Big Brother isn't a real game show, because in the US, at least, it isn't, they don't have to abide by the same rules as a game show because they're pretty strict. So they're more just like a reality entertainment television show. So they're able to get more involved and manipulate the game, if you will. So if they're going to do that for the shit players, do that for people like Josh, who we might enjoy watching. So far, Josh hasn't been problematic that I've seen. If Austin is a fan, I don't think she's doing super great. Yeah, I mean, she's brought up seasons of Big Brother US, but the real fan, I would say, is Kiefer. He's the real fan. And that would, arguably, these other players should look at him as a target. So, yeah, what are the chances of Big Brother 23 being a good season? I'm going to say 90%. I don't know. I'm just being wishful. Probably -2%, Mysteriously Kind, but let's go with 90, because every season I go in really optimistic because I love the game so much and love watching the feeds. And so I always want the best for Big Brother. And yeah, I might be very stupid for that, but that's how I am. Okay, so Josh is saying these things that as a fan I like to hear, that he wants to stir stuff up and stuff. But he has resorted to starting conversations with people, saying his new convo intro that he said recently was, "What are your thoughts on chickens? I want one day." He's also talked to people. I mean, he's trying. He's throwing anything out there. These people, he's just like, what do you guys think? They're like, chickens? I forgot if he was talking to Austin or LaToya, who he was talking to, but it was pretty funny. He's like, what are your thoughts on chickens? So I definitely want chickens one day. Josh he's trying, okay? In this weird, lovable way, he's definitely trying. He's also talked about once the self-driving automatic car becomes a regular thing, he's going to move out of the city because there'll be no reason to be in the city anymore because he just doesn't want to commute. He'll move. He'll find a dude, his husband. He'll move out to the sticks. He'll get some dogs, some chickens, and then the automatic car, if he has to go into the city, will drive him and he can play video games on his way to work. How can you hate this guy? I don't get it. I don't get it. I just think it's that first week, whatever happened. And then in Big Brother, especially New School, and maybe it's because people aren't true fans of the show, they think that to ruin someone's chances in the US, it's $500,000, but in BBCAN, it's $100K, bunch of gift cards, trips, this, that, the other, Leon's Furniture. God, I miss Leon's Furniture. How is Leon's Furniture doing, Canadians? Okay. I need to know. Also, thank you to my husband, who said I look really pretty today. And he's watching me on Twitch and giving me engagement on Twitch, which definitely helps because I'm trying to become what's it called, Chell? A streamer, but a Twitch, you have to get like verified or something. Affiliate. I don't know what that means. I just want to do it. Okay. I hope he finds a diamond power veto, like something crazy. I hope Josh finds. Okay. But unfortunately what happened today is the POV competition happened. Kiefer has been, okay. So there's a 6, you guys. And if you don't know about the 6, it's LaToya, it's Jed, it's Ty. Now those are a 3. They're a very strong 3. They're the strongest 3 in the house right now, but it's those 3, Tina, Beth, and Kiefer. So that is your 6. That is like the main force driving this house. And I'll talk about a couple small things that are popping up on the sides. But this 6 is getting, especially LaToya. LaToya is running this house. She's running it. People want to align with her. They also want to align with Jed and Ty. For some reason, they're not seeing Jed and Ty or LaToya as huge threats. They're seeing them as people they want to work with. And a lot of them are picking up on the fact that they're working together. I think it was Beth and Austin and Braden were in the HOH room last night, and they were like, yeah, it's clear they're a threesome. But yet, what are you going to do to combat it? I know, Beth, you're in that 6 with them. But Austin and Braden, like, what are you going to do? Because they're going to come for you like the bad boys. Okay. So you got to figure something out, but everyone wants to work with them now. And Kiefer was just being really, really paranoid about being on the block. And this is before the POV. And that's always kind of a rookie mistake. It's easy to get on edge, and Kiefer is a big fan of the show and he doesn't want to go, but to the point where he was annoying his, alliance, where I thought they might turn on this dude. They were getting really annoyed with Kiefer, and he was just letting his mind go all kinds of places that it shouldn't go when you're on the block and you haven't even went through the POV yet. 100K tax free. That's actually really nice, Deanna. That's really, really nice. Let's see. Hi, I'm good. Total Drama Simmer. Thank you for joining. There's Tilly, my cat in the background. She's just chilling. She's about to go under the bed, I think. So Kiefer was really worried. They go into the POV. I think the POV competition had something to do with apples. Everything is surrounding, excuse me, it's late, you guys, is surrounding balls of some sort, some kind of round object. So it's already been speculated. Austin was already speculating that the have-not room is a ballroom, even though they haven't seen it yet. I'm like, how would she know? And I think it was Ty or Jed that said, yeah, probably a ball pit. How do they know? Did production tip them off somehow? How would that even enter your mind that the have-not room could be a ball pit? I would never think that, but everything had to do with balls. So I think this POV competition had something to do with apples. Apparently, Josh took way too long when he was doing it, to the point where people were like, we don't know what you're doing. And he's like, I don't care. He didn't say that, but they were like yelling stuff like that. Kiefer won the POV. So Tara was in it. I don't know everyone that was in the POV. I was trying to catch, I think Victoria was in the POV. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the moral of the story is Kiefer won the POV. Now, when the POV was over, he was kind of hurt, not only because he didn't win, but because he said everyone was rooting for everyone else except for him. Like, no, they couldn't even throw him like a little cheer, like a little, and they were audible, I guess, when he lost. So, who's spilling the balls? Exactly. Who in production is spilling the balls to these people that they know, a lot of people do want a Jedson Austin showmance. I think, Natalie, it's because they set that up in the edits early on when they edited together their packages. Then they made it seem like, oh my God, Austin single, Jed single. But here's a hot little thing for you guys. Don't let anyone tell you this didn't happen, because it did. So just probably an hour ago on the feeds, they were getting ready for bed, and LaToya was acting. She was talking to Kiefer about I'll get to what they were talking about. They were talking game. And she saw her towel on the floor and she thought someone used it. So she was like, I'm not going to use that towel. And everyone's like, what's the big deal? Just use the towel. And by everyone, I mean like Jedson. And her and Jedson have been sharing a bed, and they're in a powerful alliance together. And so she's like, I don't know where people have been. And I think it was Rohan who said, well, you can't spread STDs from a towel. And she's like, well, not just talking about that. I understand what she's saying. Like, people might dry their butts or something. I don't know. She could tell it was just used. So everyone's like, we'll just use a t-shirt. She goes, I'm just going to use a washcloth. And they're like, that'll take forever. And Judson's like, you'll come to bed wet. And she's like, oh my God, I wouldn't. And they had this back and forth that looked like flirting to me. She has said, and she said in this conversation, LaToya did, that she would not do any kind of cuddling, hooking up in the Big Brother house. But we've heard this before. And they asked her, well, are you 34? And then Jedson said, you're in your prime or something like that. And I was like, are they going to do it? Because do it. Go ahead. So I don't know if this was just fun, playful, but LaToya seemed into it. And I was surprised. That she was into it. Yes, Master of Blackjack, sharing a bed in a powerful alliance sounds kind of fun, right? I mean, they're both super powerful. They're both very attractive. And she was about to shower, and she was coming in wet. That sounds like a hookup. So there was a lot of flirting going on between the two of them. Meanwhile, Josh was watching all from the corner. Yes. So Josh kept coming in. The poor guy, he's just like, no one's really acknowledging him, talking to them. He's like, so you guys, how you feel about chickens? No. Okay. What do you guys think about the chips they're probably going to put in our brains in like a year or so? No. Okay. What do you guys think about pleather pants? Anybody? No? Okay. What do you guys think about little toques, beanies rolled up, tight on top? Okay. God, I'm just striking out. He is like, do you guys think there are like other dimensions watching this dimension, and those other dimensions I have friends? And like, no, poor Josh. Like, I just want someone to be freaking nice to Josh. I'm so upset with this. Also, the more I watch BBCAN, the more my Minnesota accent comes out, and I kind of like it. Okay. Another issue they have with Josh is they said everyone's talking about how he tells stories, because at night they kind of tell stories in their bedrooms and stuff like that. And they're like, Josh's stories are so boring. He yawns during his stories. That's what the Houseguests are saying. They are not shutting up about Josh all day. It's Josh. Austin loves to talk about Josh. They just love Josh. Josh. They love having this common thing. We see this in Big Brother too. They have a common enemy, and then they all bond over it. And I'm just thinking, of course, he's yawning. I was tweeting about this earlier today or last night. He is running through all of your minds 24/7. He is exhausted. Josh is carrying the weight of this season right now, so he is very tired. But they talk about how he yawns a lot. Sometimes I found frequent yawners are either they're really tired. I found a lot of people when they're lying yawn a lot. Like when you're like, well, what were you doing last night? Let's just say, like, I had an ex-boyfriend that cheated on me with a vegan, let's just say. And he'd be like, I don't remember. I think I went with my friend Ben. And then you're like, you're cheating. So, I don't know if maybe he's there. Maybe they bore him. Do you know what I said? You know what I mean? Do you know what I said? I don't know what I said, but it's a late night BB live stream. So we can have some fun. Yeah, it might be fun flirting between LaToya and Jedson, but I wouldn't be mad if they hooked up. She said she wouldn't, but we'll see. And I would love to see how Austin would react, because right now LaToya does not, she's like, I don't really know where Austin stands. They've had conversations, but then she's like, I don't know, I'm not quite sure. So they're not as far apart as I thought they were, Austin and LaToya, but they're definitely not on the same page. Josh, that's the thing. Josh is someone I could see myself. He actually reminds me of one of my friends. So that's why I'm like, he seems cool. Like, whatever. I mean, he said he's an introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert or whatever. I don't know. I feel like you could relate to Josh. He's like, I'm 30. I want to find love. I want friends, but I don't want you too close to me. You know, sometimes I bring up awkward shit. Sometimes I get insecure. I feel like we can all relate to Josh, but whatever. Something that happened before, I think this was before the POV, LaToya and Jed were talking in the room and people kept walking in. It's been a really weird day for conversations because everyone assumes everyone's talking game. And for the most part they are, which is good because it's Big Brother and it's a game. So people walk in the room, they're like, oh God, should I leave? Should I leave? Especially when LaToya's in there with someone. People really are treating LaToya like the Godfather at this point. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's definitely cool for her. And Victoria walked in to LaToya and Jedson talking and just blurted out. It was so awkward, and I love myself some Victoria. She's on my draft team that I did with Nerdtainment, but she was like, okay, I just want to tell you guys, like, okay, I have pink hair, which is like so cool. I'm really positive. Anyways, I respect you. I think you're great. I think you're so great, LaToya. Like, you're so strong. Like, you're strong. I'm strong. Like, we are good for each other. Okay, so and Jed said, like, I want to work with both of you. Like, and I was thinking of bringing in Ty. Like, you might already be a thing, but if you're not a thing, like, let me know. Call me. Okay, I just wanted to tell you. I want to tell you before it's like too late, even though it's like 8 days in. And me and you, LaToya, had like a weird thing, but like, I want to just like tell you. So I don't know, hit me up, call me, page me. Bye. And then she ran out. I mean, it wasn't, I paraphrased obviously, but she basically walked in and just said that she wanted to work with LaToya and Jedson. I'm like, this isn't a good time. They just had other people walking in their mid conversation. It was just very awkward. Like, I know you're busy, but real quick, I'm going to drop like a huge bomb on you. I want to create this alliance that you already created, obviously, but if you want to add me, that'd be totally cool. Anyways, I'm going to go dance. See you later. I love Victoria, but that was very awkward. And then LaToya and Jed were like, LaToya's like, I don't know what to do with that right now. Because LaToya is like a legit boss. She's like, I'll deal with that later. Like, everyone wants to work with us. And Jedson's like, I know. Jedson, here's the thing with Jedson. He likes himself, which is good. Confidence, self-esteem is good, but he might end up liking himself a little too much. But I just love Victoria. She's such a sweetie. I see this way. I understand why the Victorias, and I know Victoria was close to Julie, or as close as you can be in that many days. And the Josh thing happened. But at this point, if everyone in the house is kind of seeing, which they are, this power threesome for sure with LaToya and Jedson and Ty, why then wouldn't LaToya, why wouldn't then Victoria and some of the other, like Austin, Brayden, because LaToya, Austin, and Brayden have like a little tiny thing. Why wouldn't they grab someone like Josh? It makes no sense to me. Josh has went to Austin in her HOH room saying, I'm malleable, like, work with me. Like, I'll do whatever it takes. I want in this game. I want to stay. I know the first week was rough. At this point, he doesn't have anything. So he would be indebted to you and you could work with him, where Austin really wasn't feeling Kiefer. And she actually had said on multiple occasions on the live feeds that she would prefer Kiefer to go home. And no, she's just like, no, we're done. It's cute that you came in here, but it's like, no, you're not a doll. She just reminds me so much of our Kardashian. I can't help it. It's like they all want to be in the in crowd. BB is high school. This social experiment we have called Big Brother is so like, I'm in with the in crowd. They love feeling cool, being cool, thinking they're with the right people, when really you should pick like an eccentric group, like a different, eclectic, if you will, not eccentric, eclectic group of people that suit, where you're weak, get someone who is strong in that. And I know that's easy to say outside of the house. And also, thank you, Natalia. So good to see you. Thank you for the first super chat of the stream. Really, 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 really appreciate you and your support. Okay. So what else do I have here? Okay, Kyle. Okay, here's interesting. So we know that Kiefer's in the 6-person alliance, but Kyle and Rohan approached Kiefer for an alliance. So it looks as though Rohan is going on the block in Kiefer's place. Once we have the POV ceremony, it looks like Austin will be putting him up. And they were talking in the bedroom, the defender's bedroom, and Kyle and Rohan were both like, we see what's going on. So we, we're thinking maybe you, and Kiefer's like, I'm down, dude. I'm so down. Like, I'm down. Like, my family, my woman, like back home, like I'm so down. Like, man, I love being a dad. I'm down, bro. Like, I'm down, I'm down. So he's down. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I guess they could work together, which is funny because LaToya had a conversation. She's been feeling out Kyle, and Kyle was kind of like, I'm going to think about it for a little bit, and then I'll get back to you. But he was really quick. So I think Kyle sees the writing on the wall, as does Rohan, that, that there's a very powerful threesome in the house. And if you're not in it, you're outside of it. So they're trying to start something. But then here's what happens. This 6th person is so strong that anyone that starts outside of it, that is when Kiefer went and told LaToya. Kiefer, do you, as a fan of the show, do you realize you could have that slickness on the side? Now, granted, Kiefer's probably thinking, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get in this alliance with these 2 dudes. It's going to get back to LaToya, and it's going to get back to Ty. It's going to get back to Jed, and it's going to get back to Tina. It's going to get back to Beth, and I'm effed. But I don't know. I would have tried to balance those 2 a little better, because I feel like everyone is giving all the power to LaToya, Ty, Jed. Like, that threesome is just holding all the power, and people are willingly giving them all the information. It seems very BB16. If you watch BB16 US version, LaToya is definitely the Derek right now, where people are just handing her this information. Now, she's a boss. She is a boss, and she is playing the game. I know a lot of people don't like LaToya. I like LaToya. She's playing the game. So shout out to her. Oh my gosh, thank you for saying that. It's late at night and I don't feel like I look up. A big brother tweet too. I appreciate it. Rawan says Kiefer is struggling. He said eating less because he's embarrassed to eat around all the super fit people. This was a really sad. So Kiefer and Josh actually had a heart-to-heart, what Rawan is talking about. And Kiefer was talking about how before he came in the house, he lost a bunch of weight. Like, he lost 40 pounds, but he doesn't really like to talk about it, and he doesn't feel that proud about it because he still feels fat. And that, I don't know, that's so #relatable. I totally understand that feeling, where most people, you would think if you lose 40 pounds, I mean, you bet your goal weight, but even me, if I lost 40 pounds, I still wouldn't be at my goal weight. But it's all, we're all kind of too hard on ourselves anyways when it comes to weight and all that. But he was talking a lot about his weight and how he was 400 pounds and now he's like 3 something. At one time, I think his highest, he said he was 400. And then he was in the 3s and then dropped 40 pounds. And now he's like, maybe, I don't know if he said 316, 306, something like that. But he says he hasn't been in the 200 range since his early 20s. And Josh is like, wow, have you ever tried like being vegan? But Josh was being he was listening, he was understanding, he was being as empathetic as, someone could be in that situation. I was going to say as Josh could be, but he was being nice. And, he was, and Kiefer's like, well, I really like meat, but I like, what was he saying? He's like, oh, but I was a pescatarian for a while. Josh's like, yeah, totally. I've done pescatarian. It was really cool. Like, I would live in Toronto, but like, I don't want to. I'm like a West Coast. I like Vancouver. Like, I could get more work in Toronto, but I like Vancouver. You know what I mean? I like my apartment. I like my dogs. I like my toques. That's about it. So I don't know. I find Josh so entertaining. But it was a nice moment where they were sharing. And then Kiefer said something. Also, he was just like that he feels bad, like Rawan was saying, eating in front of the other people, especially the really fit people. And let me tell you, I understand this so well, living in LA for 6 years and mostly all of my friends being skinny actor types and me like this like chubby comedian who is just like, hey guys. And I fluctuate in weight so much through the years. So going out to eat with your really thin friends and you just don't want to eat because there's just so much fat shaming. There's so much blame for what's put in your mouth and people think you have control issues and all kinds of stuff. So that really like my heart hurt for Kiefer in that moment. And it's that kind of Kiefer I really like seeing on the show. And I think that's why representation is important because everyone can see a little bit of themselves or in someone, you know what I mean? So, it was hard to watch, but I really enjoyed him opening up about that. And that's why Big Brother, they always cast these like super fit 6-pack dudes, but we really don't need it to win comps. I mean, Kiefer just won a comp. Victoria won the first comp. Austin won the second comp. You know, you don't need to be a bikini model. And technically you can be a bikini model at any size, but industry standard, I should say, bikini model to win these damn comps. So yeah. We're still team Josh Scoot. Oh my gosh, I got so much hate early on for saying that I think I was gonna like Josh. So Rohan is gonna be put on the block. I agree with you, Custom Charm Farm. I think it's too late to lose to Josh. Rohan is just kind of boring at this point. He's making moves with Kyle, which is equally boring. But that's what's going on. Now, here's the thing though. There is a chance for Josh. I can see what you're saying. Josh definitely has that, but he admits to that. He admits that he is that kind of, but he wants to be in the house. You know, there's a different kind of whiny. There's the Carol from last season, BB8 Carol, who was Carol Comedy Corner, who was just like, I'm just here for like followers. But she didn't talk like that. She was like, Carol's Comedy Corner. You know, I have so many followers, but I want to go home. But I want to do it on my terms. I'm holding the house hostage. So there's that kind of whiny, like my back hurts, my neck, my back, my ussy and my crack. And then there's the Josh who's like, I just like feel things differently, like on a wavelength of like run my fingers through my hair. You know what I mean? Like, do you ever just think like the world is happening, but it's already happened? Think about it. I didn't. You know, that's Josh. It's kind of endearing, where Carol was the type that's like, I think I got like 4 more followers on my Facebook comedy page, guys. So yeah, I'm probably going to take off, but not for a couple weeks. I'm just going to continue to ruin the game. Oh, my back hurts. Can't do anything. I'm going to go cry in bed for a while. Can somebody help me? I lost my favorite flannel. And those are the people. That's the kind of whiny that I don't like. He owns his whiny. You know, he does. He owns his, and he wants to play. He does. He actually wants to play. And he makes it interesting. So he kind of stirs the pot, if you will. So Rohan, there is a way where Rohan can go this week. Now, so far, everyone's just like, it's Josh. And Rohan will be, most likely, he's figured it out for himself that he will be the replacement nom because it would probably be between him and LaToya, but during the HOH competition, Austin made a deal with LaToya and said, you know, you drop because it came down to those two, or you stop, or whatever. I'll keep you safe. And so they have that deal. And other than that, she's friends with everybody else. So Rohan knows it's going to be him. Now, Rohan, I thought he's acting like Mr. Cool, Calm, and Collected. But we saw his intro tape, and he was saying in his intro tape, you know, I'm going to be the villain. I'm going to mix stuff up, and I lie so much. I've only told you 25% of the truth in this interview. And you're like, okay, strategic planning manager, like boring. But really, he hasn't done any of that. He is kind of, you know, I'm sitting back and maybe some of that is yet to come, but he's not acting as calm, cool, and collected as he said he was going to, because he's already had a moment on the feeds where he walked in, I think, with Kiefer and LaToya talking, and he started getting very paranoid. And LaToya's like, "Are you for real right now?" And he's like, "Well, who said what about what?" And she's like, "I didn't say anyone said nothing about, but what about who? And am I going?" So I could see we still have a long week ahead of us if Josh plays his cards right, and if he can just lay low a little bit, be cool. And then start planting seeds on why he's better to keep than Rohan, and open up, maybe share some personal stuff, emotionally manipulate a little bit some of these people. Maybe he stands a chance, because if Rohan keeps getting paranoid, if anything comes out about Rohan, because if Kiefer now telling LaToya that Kyle and Rohan approached him for an alliance, maybe they'll be like, oh shit, they're kind of coming for us. Maybe Kiefer will be smart enough to see that. At this point, people are just doing it for a personal reason. They're just annoyed by the guy, which is, I get it. You're living with someone. It'd be hard to do, but it's never good for the game. Game-wise, Rohan is way bigger threat, because he's one of these alpha dudes that's going to work with other alpha dudes, and we'll get to the end. So I would find, that's what I would do. I would hope that Rohan, I can't even say. I don't know why I'm having such a problem remembering his name. Maybe because he doesn't interest me. Jay says, I'm sorry, but Josh did it to himself. I understand everyone hate the house for hating him, but his anxiety put a target on his back. Maybe, yeah. I mean, but I also think that could have been strategy. It could have been great strategy when he went to Julie and was like, here's the deal. These bros are kind of aligning, and here's what's happening. And I think Julie reacting so emotionally to it and not taking that information and realizing that information is knowledge in this game, I think it just blew up everything. And then Julie blew up everyone's game. So I think that's what happened. But I do understand what you're saying. Like the anxiety and stuff like that could definitely be a reason. I'm not saying Josh is perfect. I'm just saying he's going to be good for the feeds and good for the fans to watch. And that's why I hope he stayed. But okay, so there's a lot of bragging going on in the house, how no one knows we're working together. There was LaToya and Tina, who are quite the friends, and they have a really cute friendship. I'm loving Tina in this game. Tina is, people want to work with Tina, talk to Tina, be near Tina. People love Tina. Tina's playing air hockey with the guys. She's chatting with the ladies. Tina's killing it socially, killing it. And she's like, I don't even miss home yet. I'm like, way to go, Tina, because you're our older person representation. So I want to cheer for Tina, 42-year-old Tina, who all the younger house guests are doing what younger house guests do. They're just like, well, because Tara, she's like old, she's like old. She's 37. She's not old. Tina, she's like, God, she's like a grandma. It's like, she's 42. Well, maybe I'm just saying that because I'm 41. But Tina and LaToya were having a conversation like nobody even thinks we're working together. So they're definitely feeling themselves. A lot of the people in the house are kind of up their own ass. They're already planning. We're solid, bro. Like, we're so solid, bud. Like, we are. Like, I'd be cheesed if something happened. They say cheesed a lot, and I love it. I don't know if that's a Canadian thing. I don't know if it's a certain part of Canada thing. I remember Diablo Cody wrote it into a script. I think she wrote it into I forget which script she wrote it into, but I love it. So just like, I'd be totally cheesed if we didn't make it all the way to the end. For sure, I'd be cheesed. And they're like, I'd be cheesed too. Well, I'd be the most cheesed. I'd be Swiss cheese. Really, I'd be Monterey Jack. I'd be dill Havarti. I love the fact that Canadians use cheese. I'm obsessed with it. But they're bragging a little too much about themselves, where you're playing weeks ahead. Big Brother is a day by day. You have to have foresight and forethought and all that, but you got to go by the day, because a lot can change in a week, and things can flip, and you just never know. So don't see yourself there yet. You're 8-9 days in. Calm it down. There was also a lot of that with Beth, because there was this today. Beth and LaToya had a conversation. I believe Jed was there at the time, and because LaToya really wasn't feeling Beth. She was wishing they picked maybe Tara to be in their alliance instead of Beth. And then Beth and LaToya seemed to get on the same page. But there's something about Beth. I love the idea of Beth. I love Beth's job. I love all those things. But she's kind of annoying. I'll be honest with you. Just feeds wise. She's just like, and I like Victoria for the it's a lot. It's a lot of try-harding. If I was in the house, I would be less annoyed with a Josh or a Victoria and more annoyed with a Beth. It's a lot. And she's always going. So maybe my opinion will change, but let me know if anyone else feels this way, but it's a lot. And it's like, I'm so quirky girl. And you're like, oh, you, okay, cool. Yeah. I've seen this sitcom before. I always turn the channel. So I'm surprised she didn't get bangs before she came in. Maybe she does have bangs. I don't know. But she's like, hi, pony. And she's doing like dances and she's just in everyone's everything. And she's just like, but I'm cool. And also one of the guys, I'm going to put my toque on. Is it toque? Put my beanie on. I'm going to lay there like, yeah, right. Oh my God. Your balls smell. No, my balls smell. Everyone's balls smell. And you're like, oh, Beth, it's a lot. She's acting kind of weird. And I think she's desperate for, I shouldn't say desperate. That sounds mean, but she does want a little show in her pants, you know, and she's inching to Jedson, inching to Jed. Everything. Smell my armpits. Like she's that chick who's like, I'm so weird, right? So random. I just smell my own armpits. Oh, it smells like onions. I love onions, but not red onions. They give me diarrhea. And you're like, why did you say all that, Beth? So we'll see with the Beth. We'll see, Beth. Yes, comparing BB Josh in the US compared to BB Josh Canada is, I guess, maybe that's why Josh doesn't bug me, because we've, in the US, like Ghost Hunter saying, we've had problematic Joshes, like Joshes that are so annoying. So this Josh does not annoy me. Okay. So toque. I keep saying toque, like toque, but toque rhymes with nuke. Thanks, Deanna. Thank you. Yeah, we don't need another quirk. I feel like it's just like Brooke 2.0, but Brooke became way more reserved. And Brooke was like, I'm a feminist. And I can't wait to get in the house and just show everyone all my sweater vests and all my feminism and my bangs. And then she saw Sheldon. She was like, I don't want to vote anymore. And you're like, Beth, whatever the hell her name was, Brooke, you're supposed to be the feminist. I was excited for you. And she's like, what do you think I should do, Sheldon? Sheldon. I don't know. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Beth. I don't want to be too judgy so soon, but yeah, she's got her toque. No, toque, Jolene, toque. She's got her toque on. She's like, hey bros, what are you guys doing? Do you guys ever smell your own vaginas? You don't have vaginas? Cool. Bye. Oh my God. I'm going to go dance. Oh. I wish I could pull my sweatpants up past my nipples, right? Ew. Okay. Where I think Victoria's quirky, eccentric style is just so much more genuine. But that's just what's happening as I watch the feeds all day long. Okay, let's see what else. I talked about the cheese. I love the cheese. So here's something with Beth and Austin. Beth and Austin were saying that they don't like Josh. It's literally, you guys, it's all Josh talk on the feeds. It's all they're talking about. They don't like Josh because Austin said, I don't like how he like tells me like I'm beautiful like all the time. It's like, you look so pretty. And I'm like, but do I have like half my eye makeup off. Maybe he thinks you look pretty. I mean, I have seen him go, hey, beautiful, and they're taking that as disingenuous. I think he's trying too hard. Well, he is trying. And it might be too hard because you guys aren't even giving him an inch. There's nothing he can do. But there's worse things he could say. He's just trying to be their gal pal. You know, he wants his little kiki. He just like, let's talk about it. But I mean, I guess I could see how that could be a little annoying, but she's making it like, oh my God, like he was like, hey, beautiful. And I'm like, excuse me? I only have primer on. Like, you're a liar. So silly. But then Beth said she does not like how much he's hugging her. And I guess I haven't seen him hug her, but she said he's not picking up on social cues. So I'll have to pay attention to that because I didn't really notice that. Yeah, I guess he's just like, hey girl, because that is kind of how Josh is like, hey guys, do you ever like get so tired of carrying your own weight? It's like, what a bummer, you know. So he is kind of like that, but it just seemed a little dramatic to be like, oh my God, he's always calling me beautiful. Like, what? oh my God. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not even wearing my favorite lip gloss, like for real. Ugh. Where's Brayden? I love Brayden. I ate so many Hershey's. There was a talk today between Jed and Austin, and they were definitely flirting. Definitely flirting. And their conversation was just, if you've ever been in your early 20s, and if you are in your early 20s, God bless. I've been in my early 20s, and you've been talking to a guy you like, and he's been talking to you, and you're both just young, and you don't know what to say, and you want to bone, but there's a camera watching you, or you're afraid of pregnancy, or for whatever reason you're not boning. But you don't know each other very well. You're just having these awkward conversations. That was Austin and Jed. She was like, oh my God, it was like so random that like we're here. He's like, I know, it's totally, it's like 100% rando. Dude, it's like weird, right? And she's like, yeah, it's like so random that I'm like here with you. It's like, oh my God, I ate so much. So like my tummy hurt, which was so random. And he's like, 100%. I would eat all that chocolate if I could, but I can't. I know you can't. I can't. Yeah, I know. It's like so random. But if you could, you would, right? Like they were talking about why women are competitive with other women, but they definitely, neither of them paid attention in women's studies classes if they took women's studies classes. Because Jed's like, I love LaToya. She's just like, she's down, man. She's so powerful, her body. Like, she's just so strong. And then Austin said, yeah, she's like really strong. I love looking at her muscles. It's like amazing. And Jed's like, yeah, she's strong. And then Austin proceeded to go on about, yeah, I'm not like intimidated by other women. I like to bring ladies up, like good vibes to everyone, woman power and stuff. Like, that's just not how I am. Like, I don't know why women do that. Jed's like, yo, why do they do that? Like, I have no idea. I don't know. Social conditioning, like it's been happening forever. They pit us against each other, competition from our Disney movies from the beginning. Like, pay attention, people. But they were just having this conversation where they were definitely flirting. She's like, I'm like so secure in myself. Like, totally. It's crazy. And he's like, that's cool. That's like random, but it's really cool. It was just very... It was the most boring. If I had to sit and watch that, I would stab my own eyes out. But it's just these two people that want to hump, but they can't because they're on TV. And maybe they'll get there. I don't know. But they were definitely flirting, and it's just the worst conversations. Jed, like, yeah, I don't necessarily like to wear a shirt. They're itchy, right? Shirts are like so itchy. If I didn't have to wear a shirt, like I wouldn't. I mean, like, oh my God, that sounds so random. I would. And then Jensen's like, oh yeah, I bet you would. Oh my God, stop. But yeah, like I would. Oh my God, I ate so many. Did I tell you about the Hershey's? But I'm like not going to take a bath in the tub. Everyone keeps saying I should take a bath in the HOH tub, but it's like, everybody's watching. But I did bring a swimsuit for that. But it's like so random. Everything was random. Everything was crazy. And I'm just like, can you just make out already? Because you guys' talking is very random. Very, very random. All right. So there was talk with Tara and LaToya, who seem to be getting along because LaToya likes the fact that Tara is what she considers to be logical. Tara's struggling in the house in that she doesn't feel like she's found her place and she's momming it. Like she wants to clean. She's like, whose tea is this? Who did anyone leave it? I'm just going to go. I'm so bored. Like, oh my God. I'm like used to like spin, kids, husband, spin, And so she's just always like, did someone leave soap in the soap holder? Because I need to know. I've counted the toilet paper rolls. We have 7 left. I don't know if that's going to be enough. So someone might want to make a trip to Costco. Do you have Costco's here? I don't. Oh, I just want something to do. So she's totally momming it up. And, but she opened up to LaToya that she felt as though Austin and Brayden were laughing at her during their little rap activity. I don't know why they were doing this rap activity. Maybe it was for TikTok, but they all had a line. They were creating a rap because that always goes really well for people who aren't rappers. And so they were creating a rap and they're like, hi, I'm Austin and I am bossing you around here today. And then I'm Brayden. you're fading when you're standing next to me or so, in my light. I don't know. They're just making up these little reps. And apparently when Tara did hers, she felt as though they were laughing at her. And she's like, and then I thought maybe I'm too old to be doing this. I'm just like too old. I mean, you know, I was Mina Sabari. Is that her name? The actress. I was her body double for years. And then I became a part-time spin instructor. And now maybe I'm too old to do this rep thing. And I just feel like I don't embody. And LaToya was basically like, these people mean nothing. Your family means everything. Who gives a fuck about these people? That was LaToya's advice. But Tara has definitely been feeling as though she thought in the competition people weren't really cheering for her as well. She doesn't quite know where she fits in. Deanna says Tara's used to being in control. Someone made a joke about her age yesterday, so now she's insecure. Yeah. And I'm like, Tara, calm down. You're 37. 37 is beautiful age. And you're so young and you have 2 kids and a hot husband. I saw your husband in the video. Like, props. But she's definitely like, okay, I brought all my leopard print. I brought all my new toques. Thank you. I said it right. All my toques. Okay, I'm ready. Who wants to spin? You know, she's like, I just watched someone work out for 5 minutes. I want to sleep with Tina in a bed because I don't think it's right if my kids would see me waking up with like a random guy in the bed. Now I got to do anything. My husband would know, but I forgot to ask him before I came in the house if I could sleep in a bed with another guy. So I'm probably not going to sleep with another guy. Does anyone know whose tea this is? It's somebody's tea. Somebody please. Big Brother, can you do something about this tea? It's been sitting here for 36 seconds and I need to know where it belongs. So I'm just like, Tara, you need to chill. You need to chill. But very strangely, even though Tara felt as though Brayden and Austin, the young kids in the house, were laughing at her, she then decides with Tina that she wants to start a 4-person alliance with her and Tina. And remember, Tina's part of the 6. So the 6, they're branching off. And so far, I don't know if Tina has told anyone in the 6 about this, but it's Tara and Tina, and they approached Austin. Austin said she'd be down, and then they were going to talk to Brayden. So that we'll see if that happens. That was talked about quite a bit tonight. So that's another alliance. I hope Tina's smart enough to not say anything, because I feel as though if it got back to LaToya, you could just be like, that's not true. They talked to me about it, but I never agreed to anything. Like, I'm Tina. I'm from Newfoundland. Like, Tina is everything. She's saying stuff, again, her language that I don't know, but I want to learn it, where she's just like, yeah, finna guy. And they're like, what did you say? She said, oh, that means I want toast. And where I'm from, my town. Yeah, that means I want toast. They're like, oh, okay, cool. And then she's like, hobgoblin boo. It's a hobgoblin boo, right? That just means I didn't get enough sleep last night. That's what we say. You guys don't say that? You guys don't say hobgoblin boo? No, you don't say that? So it's adorable. But I think Tina's social game is great right now, to the point where even if she was her one alliance found out about the other one, she could get out of it purely being like, I was just sitting here, you know, wearing my baseball cap. You know, I just got done playing some air hockey, blue line, and that's that about that. I don't terratora, you know. What's terratora? Oh, that's what you say. No biggie. That's you guys don't say that where you're from? Oh, okay. So I love Tina. I love Tina. So it looks like maybe Tina will be branching off with a little side alliance with Tara, Austin, and Brayden, which would be kind of interesting. It's very interesting if she didn't tell the 6. What else do we have here, you guys? I try to write all this stuff down because I'm like, I am not going to remember all this. Oh, I already said Beth is kind of annoying. I did talk about that. Oh, Victoria. Oh my God, our dear sweet Victoria. Tara found a bag of bread that was like already opened and rolled. And you know how when you open a bag of bread and you roll it, and if you don't have the little, who keeps the little twist tie thing? Nobody does, right? Is that just me? But I don't. Let me know in the chat if you guys keep the twist tie, because I don't keep the twist tie. And you just roll it and then you tuck it under. Well, I guess somebody, Victoria, instead of just pulling it up and opening it, she just opened the bag, just split a little piece, grabbed a little bit of bread, and ran to the POV competition. And Tara had to get to the bottom. And she's like, do you guys see what happened with the bread? That's like, oh my God, I was like thinking of spin class, and this happened with the bread. Does anyone know who would open the bread like this? It's crazy. It was the most exciting thing to happen in Tara's BB life. And then she found out it was Victoria. She's like, oh, wow, it's Victoria. It's Victoria. I guess it's Victoria. Okay, that's apparently Victoria. Did you guys hear about the bread? Okay, so Victoria like opened it because she needed a little snack. It's fine because it's Victoria. But if it was Josh, I would burn this place down. We all would, right? We all would burn the place down. So that was kind of funny. Victoria was just like, oh, I just was hungry on the way to the POV. I didn't have time. I just wanted to grab a little something to put in my mouth. This is like, sorry, I have pink hair. Like, expect the unexpected. Expect me to open the bread that way. I love Victoria. I love it. So yes, Breadgate. It was so good. So good. I'm loving everything about Victoria. I just really hope Victoria doesn't bow down to the stronger alliance because I don't think her and LaToya really mesh. I wish early on they would have worked together, but I kind of think it's too late. I think right now Victoria has to start her own side of the house and she needs to get the Bradens and the Austins together. Anyone outside of that 6, I feel like she could pull in. She could even pull in the Rohan, the Kyles, and you could have 2. I mean, who doesn't love a Big Brother season where it's 2 sides of the house battling it out? At this point, I think she could pull in a Josh and everything would be fine and dandy. But it seems like everyone just wants to work with the bigger alliance, unfortunately, because it's a way more fun when you have 2 sides and they're kind of battling it out. But yes, there's also a link in the description for how I watch the feeds through my VPN. You do have to pay for it. And then the episodes you can't watch until the next day. So I watched that through Video Brother, but I was having some issues with them. It's just not their fault. They're getting hit with copyright, which I guess is kind of their fault, but we're all in the US just trying to watch the damn episodes. Can we just have a way to watch the episodes in the US? Because we love Canadian Big Brother. It's so freaking good. I love it. And if you're in Canada, you can watch the feeds for free, which is amazing because US Big Brother makes you pay for the feeds. And now CBS.com or CBS All Access is now Paramount. So I don't know how that's going to work. I got to look into that. Yay, Angelica. I know. All day I was just watching these feeds and I wanted to wait till the end of the POV competition so I could come on and tell you guys that spoiler, but also share all the crazy thoughts I have going on in my head about this season. But so far, I'm really liking this cast. They're definitely down to play. LaToya and Ty and Jed are running the game, but mostly LaToya. LaToya is the brains, the operation, the boss, the everything. Like, she's the godfather, and people come to her. Everyone's just like, LaToya, I love how you dress. I love your body. I love your brain. I love your toque. I love everything about you. So even when I thought her and when Victoria and LaToya weren't really meshing, Victoria still goes up to her. So it'll be interesting to see who decides to branch off and make another alliance, not with anyone in the 6, because at this time, I don't think anyone knows fully about the 6. They definitely know about the 3, Ty, Jed, and LaToya. They definitely know about that, but I don't think they know Kiefer is in it, or Beth, or Tina. But Tina and LaToya have been hanging out a lot, so it could become clear, but they did have a talk in the kitchen tonight that they have to stop hanging out as much. And so LaToya said she was going to start hanging out with Braden more, which she did. And Braden seems so happy. Like, oh my God, LaToya's hanging out with me. This is so cool. Because she designs clothes and she brought a ton of swimsuits. And I'm really excited. Braden was very happy. And everyone is loving Braden. Braden's social game is on point as well. He may not be in the bigger alliance, but a lot of the house finds him hilarious. They love his little sayings. So that's good for him. That's really good for him at this point. And they don't necessarily see him as a threat. Yes, Canada's feeds are free, but down a lot. I've noticed that the feeds go down a lot. And the US feeds go down a lot. But the Canadian feeds were going down for crazy stuff where I'm like, why would they go down for that? But it does make sense since they do have all these sponsors. That they have to be even more careful than the US ones. I don't understand why they go down as much as they do. That's kind of ridiculous. So LaToya is a beast. I love I love when she was like to Julie, I don't have time for this. I know. She was just like, I'm doing it's hot tub time. And I brought a lot of cute swimsuits and you're not going to ruin this vibe. So see you later. Julie's like, excuse me? It was very, very different. Oh my God, Paul Mansfield. Paula, you have to watch BBCAN so that you can join me for a live because it's awesome. I don't know if you watch it. I forgot if you and I have talked about this before. But yes. But BBCAN's feeds are definitely going down at very, very, very strange times. And they were getting in trouble quite a bit today for talking about production. And they're when you watch BBUS, the guy, I forget his name. I always forget his name. And I've actually met him. The older guy who's the voice, who has that amazing voice. What is his name? You guys, Gary, Larry, Derry, Barry, one of those old guy names. And his voice is way more like, you're like, oh God, I don't want to do it. But the Canadians are far more fearful of breaking the production rules. So they've been saying banana, and they have little code words that they say when talking about production. But the voice is a lot more soothing. But Kiefer, I think, got in trouble like 4 times within 25 minutes. And with that, we know that they sometimes lose some of their stipend or money when they talk about the fee or production a little too much. What did you Holy behind you? It looks like it takes, oh, can you see back there? Looks like it takes a lot of computer servers to run your life. I don't think it looks like that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. But yes, totally. Yes, everyone loves Powell. I miss Powell. I want Powell to join me when Survivor starts up again because I have been binging old seasons of Survivor, getting ready for the new season, which is going to be a while because they have to go into production and all that stuff, but I'm definitely ready for it. Okay. So that's pretty much what's going on in the house, you guys. I just wanted to, I think those are just my twinkle lights. But yes, obviously it's a whole production here at Joleen Productions, which is just me and my laptop. I do have 2 monitors, so that's pretty boss. I don't know. I'm like the boss of Big Brother. You can watch the bigger channels that have people and they take very good notes and they're very PC. Cool. But this is really big here. Me and my ring light with my bed there and my husband back there with headphones on going, when can we go to bed? And I'm like, it's Big Brother season, baby. No, he understands that when it's Big Brother season, there's nothing more important. There is nothing more important than that. So that's what's going on in the house, you guys. Basically, say a little prayer for Josh. However you do, manifest some good stuff Josh's way. Even if he has to go home, maybe just someone could talk to him so he doesn't have to sit by himself alone. He's really trying with these guys. Someone talk to him about freaking chickens, okay? Just talk to him about chickens. You can still vote him out and talk to him and have some toast with them because they're having a lot of PB&J, a lot of the house guests instead of, I don't really know. I think there was some kind of thing we didn't see yet, which we'll see in the upcoming episode of why they're having peanut butter and jelly. It like harkens back to old BBUS season 6 when they would do the peanut butter and jelly instead of slop. I loved that. But everyone in the house, I mean, Ty, he basically is like, I cannot eat the peanut butter. I just can't do it. I'm like, peanut, I can eat peanut butter with my bare hands. I could right now put my whole face in a can of peanut butter and just start eating. Unless you're allergic, how do you not like peanut butter? I don't know. Peanut butter and jelly, I mean, it would get old after a while, but way better than slop, in my opinion. So some of them are struggling due to the peanut butter. Yay, Jay Esco, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for saying I was hilarious. I appreciate Joleen for BB24. You guys, I'd be like Josh in the house. I'd be like, do you guys ever think that like none of this matters and all your influencer numbers are just going to be nothing as soon as Instagram crashes by 2025? No, it's cool. Do you guys know any trades? Like somebody who left this, and I'd be a little bit like Tara, like whose hair is in this? This is disgusting. So I would not be good for Big Brother, but I definitely like talking about it. Yeah, manifesting a secret veto for Josh would be amazing. Yeah, hopefully Josh, when he gets out of the house, he sees all the love he's getting on Twitter, because early on, I think people were like, what? But I saw through it. I saw the inner 90s angst. I saw the grunge Kurt Cobain Canadian dude in him. I saw the beautiful introvert that was about to change our television screens forever and our computer monitors forever. I saw that. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. 2 monitors. I know, it's crazy. One has a Microsoft Word draft of notes, and the other is you guys. And hit that like, and subscribe if you don't already. I'm watching, Survivor China is your favorite. Okay, I think I still have to watch China. What am I watching right now? Okay, tell me what season I'm watching because I've binged so many seasons. I am watching the season that Corinne was on and this other guy I don't like. And I'm not to the end yet, so I don't know who wins, but they're in Africa. But what season I think they're in Africa. These are things I should know. I'm pretty sure they're in Africa. And it's the season with the adorable pinup girl that everyone's so mean to, and they keep sending her to Exile Island, and I'm just like, get out of my life with this. But then they don't know that she already found the immunity idol, and now she just gets to snack, and it becomes, is she Susie Shack? Sugar season. Whatever season is sugar season is the season I'm watching, and I'm liking it. There's a lot of like underdogs rising up, and Corinne's alliance has gotten taken out, and the old guy that was on her alliance is the worst. He's the worst. He was so mean, and I was like, why is he mean? I know it's like 2005 then or whatever, but there's no reason to be this mean. So far in my rewatch, I really, really loved Pearl Islands, obviously, and by rewatch, a lot of these I just watched for the first time. Pearl Islands was amazing. I loved Millennials versus Gen X. Like, I cannot say enough about Millennials versus Gen X. I did not know I was going to like it that much. Yeah, Gabon. And Sugar. I mean, how cute is Sugar? Because I watched Heroes versus Villains when Sugar came on. I'm like, who's she? I don't know who she is. So I watched that a long time ago. And now I know more about Sugar, and I understand why she was invited. Because as we know, she didn't last too long on Heroes versus Villains. But it was, she was fantastic. And the way she messed with that old mean guy, and I forget his name, but he had some issues. He lost a dog 5 years ago. And listen, I had a cat that I lost, and I understand pets are everything. And then I paid for a surgery and put it on care credit at the time. And then she passed away right after the surgery in the hospital. And I had to pay off a dead cat for like 6 years. So I get it, but that's no excuse to be. I wasn't a dick to everybody just because my cat died. I mean, give me a break. Cook Islands is so good. I watched Cook Islands recently. Heidi, I wasn't sure at first. Gabon, when I was watching it, I'm like, if any of the seasons that aren't on water aren't my favorites. They need to be, and I know Gabon is on a leech lake where they just get leeches, but if they're not on the ocean, if they're not Fiji, if they're not some kind of tropical, I kind of tune out a little bit because I've already conditioned my brain to think Survivor is on an island by water. But Gabon is slowly becoming a fave. It's Randy. I hate Randy. I don't like Randy. He's just miserable. And Corinne had shows on TV Co when I had shows on TV Co, and I didn't know who this person was. They're like, oh, she's a Survivor person. I'm like, she must be pretty cool. No, I mean, I don't know her now. She could be totally cool. And that was a long time ago, but, I wish I would have known then, because I think she was doing like inspirational shows. I'm like, what could she inspire after seeing her that season? She was not nice. She was legit like, I hate that person. I hope they die. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Corinne, this is going on television. You realize that, right? This is like maybe you don't, but this is forever. I'm going to watch this. 41-year-old Jolene's going to watch this in 2021. And I'm going to form very strong opinions about you and your friend Randy. And they're not going to be good. But I don't think she realized. Randy's still miserable. Randy got busted at Ponderosa. What did he do? Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah, Corinne's savage. She's savage, but she's kind of mean. She's very mean to Sugar. Corinne is of the generation, well, I should say, because she's probably my age, but in that era when she was coming up in Survivor, we didn't know what slut shaming was yet. So I think she early on was just like, oh my God, Sugar's a pinup girl. Gross. Ew. She doesn't even have a brain. I graduated from Florida State. I'm like, Florida State, calm down. Harvard, Stanford, Yale, Columbia, Florida State, good school, but, It's kind of a big brag. So yeah. Oh, Coke. Oh, Randy looks like Coke. Oh, if there was ever a dude, an older miserable dude who looks like he does Coke, it's Randy. It's Randy. But you would think Coke would make him a little happier, a little more up, a little more like, hey guys, this is can't wait. Maybe he was out of Coke on the island or in Gabon, so that's why he was so miserable. So he didn't have his Coke. Okay, allegedly, always allegedly. All right, you guys. This late night live has been so fun. I am going to be going late more often, covering the feeds all season. So you will see me. And then I'll be covering all the episodes, doing recaps. And then on Tuesdays and Fridays are special days, because Tuesdays I'll be at Sarah's channel, Nerdtainment. So if you're not already subbed to Nerdtainment, make sure you sub. Just search Nerdtainment. You won't regret it. They're great. I'll be on Nerdtainment on Tuesdays, and then Sarah from Nerdtainment will be on my channel on Fridays, and we're just going to have a good time talking about Big Brother. And yes, Adam says Corinne used to do preseason brutal cast reviews on Rob Hezek. Yes, they were horrible but hilarious. Okay, maybe her and I would get along in real life, because I can kind of do the same. So maybe I should talk to her in 2021. But thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everyone for joining me late. Thank you for all of the comments. Make sure you like this video. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And I'll be back very soon with another Big Brother breakdown. You guys are wonderful and lovely, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.